Looking for a startup job that fits you perfectly? Your tribe helps you discover, apply, and land startup jobs that matches your skills. Find your tribe with Your Tribe today.
This is Ayush Iqbal from ANI. So my first question is, what is the latest update that the ministry is getting on the Ahmedabad air crash? Has our external affairs minister spoken with his British or Canadian counterpart? And second one is related to the recent telephonic conversation between our Prime Minister and the Canadian Prime Minister. Did the Khalistani extremism issue came up during the talks? And how do you look at India-Canada relationship ahead of Prime Minister's expected visit to Canada this week?
Sir, could you give us an understanding of India's engagement with China on the rare earths material issue, given the fact that it's been having a significant impact on industries like auto in India? Are there any timelines that you're looking at with respect to, arriving at a resolution in this matter? And secondly, how are you looking at this move by the Chinese government?
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Shivam.
This is Shivam Patel from Reuters News. Question related to Canada. Prime Minister is going to Canada for the G7 summit. How do you view India's relationship with Canada in this context? And would you consider reinstating the expelled diplomats? Yeah. One more question, sir. Prime Minister Carney, in the Canadian readout, Prime Minister Carney apparently said that Prime Minister Modi agreed to engage in a law enforcement dialogue. Could you just expand on that, please? Thank you.
Okay. Siddhant.
Hi, sir. Siddhant from Beyond. So we have seen a lot of comments coming from the American administration. In fact, their top military officials called Pakistan a counter-terror partner, and we have seen similar statement coming from other officials. So how does India views the American statements that Pakistan can be a partner when it comes to counter-terror cooperation?
Okay. Rishabh.
So good evening, Rishabh from Times Now. So first question, Mohammed Yunus is in the United Kingdom, and yesterday he made a comment about a conversation with our Prime Minister saying that he wanted, or Bangladesh wanted, Sheikh Hasina to be restrained, and India did not respond appropriately, is what he has said. Apart from that, sir, also.
Sorry? Okay. So, Ayushi, first, your question. What has happened in Ahmedabad is a very tragic accident. We have lost a lot of people. We extend our deepest condolences to all those who have lost their loved ones. There are, I understand, several foreigners also. Those updates you will receive from the relevant departments, Ministry of Civil Aviation, Air India, and others. They are putting out something, I guess, soon. That's the latest that I can share. We also, it's still an evolving situation. Rescue operations are on, so you'll have to wait a little more time for exact details to be put out. But you would have seen, that everybody is concerned, and we once again convey our deepest condolences to all the families who have lost their loved ones. On Canada, we had a question from Shivam and also from you. So I will combine both these issues. As you are aware, our Prime Minister had received a call from the Canadian Prime Minister last week. During the call, Prime Minister Carney had invited Prime Minister to attend the G7, and as you are aware, the invitation has been accepted. It was also an occasion for the two Prime Ministers to talk about India or reflect on India-Canada relations and how do we take it forward. As you are aware, India-Canada are vibrant democracies which are bound by shared democratic values and a steadfast commitment to the rule of law, and of course very vibrant people-to-people ties. We believe that the forthcoming meeting between the two leaders on the sidelines of the G7 summit in Kananaskis in Canada will offer an important opportunity for them to exchange views on bilateral and global issues, and explore pathways to set or reset the relationship based on mutual respect, shared interests, and sensitivity to each other's concerns. Our views on some of these have already been shared publicly in considerable detail. Now, a specific question that you asked, Shivam, responding to that, I would say that there are existing mechanisms between Indian and Canadian law enforcement agencies that have discussed issues of mutual security concern over a period of time. This engagement is likely to continue. Sumita, your question about rare earths. We have been in touch with the Chinese side. The Chinese Ministry of Commerce and General Administration of Customs in early April, as you would be aware, had announced the decision to implement export controls on certain rare earth related items. We are in touch with the Chinese side both here in Delhi as also in Beijing to bring predictability in supply chain for trade consistent with international practices. Siddhant, your question on the comments made by interlocutors in the United States. See, the record of Pakistan, of what Pakistan actually is very clear. We all know Pahalgam attack is only the recent example of cross-border terrorism. I would remind you that only recently one of the conspirators of 26/11, Tahavu Rana, was extradited from the United States to India. Obviously, none of us have forgotten that Pakistan gave shelter to Osama bin Laden. It is significant that the person, and you would be aware, Dr. Shakil Afridi, who helped locate Osama bin Laden, is still imprisoned by the Pakistani military. Rishabh, a question about the comments from the Bangladeshi side. See, our approach to engagement with Bangladesh, our ties with Bangladesh is well known. I have said so from this podium several times. We want a positive and constructive relationship with Bangladesh that is anchored in the aspirations of the people of the two countries. Can we go forward? Keshav?
Thank you, sir. This is Keshav Padmanabhan from The Print. I have two questions. The first one is the situation in West Asia. The U.S. has put out travel advisories for non-emergency personnel in Iraq. Has also put out a travel advisory in Israel earlier a few hours ago. And there is some tension between Israel and Iran being reported. Has the Indian MEA taken notice? Is there any such advisories on our nationals in the region, given the large population? And I just wanted to understand our position on the growing tensions there at this specific moment in time.
Okay.
My second question, sir, is there were two calls between Indian and Canadian leaders, the Prime Ministers as well as the Foreign Ministers in the last week. Specifically, sir, was anything raised on Sikh separatism or any law enforcement cooperation over the killing of Hardeep Singh Nijjar? Thank you, sir.
Okay. Yeah.
Good evening, sir. This is Megha from NewsX. My first question is about this Pelican project, where Canada has busted a drug racket that involved financing anti-India activities. What is the Indian Ministry of External Affairs reaction to this? Also, is there any information regarding Prime Minister Narendra Modi's bilateral meetings with other heads of states at the G7 summit? And also a reaction on source-based information that Asim Munir, the Field Marshal of Pakistan, has been invited for the military parade that is taking place on the 14th of June. However, the Indian general has not been invited.
Okay. Huma.
So I'm Huma Siddiqui from Stat News Global. I have two questions. One, do you have any update on the illegal immigrants post the ICE getting very aggressive in Los Angeles? That is one. And the second, there are reports that a lot of Indian students are being deported from the UK. Do you have anything on that?
Please.
So Kunal Dutt here from PTI. My question essentially is on the volatility in California, especially the Los Angeles, where we are seeing for the past couple of days the crackdown by the Trump administration. Is India monitoring the situation, given the fact that on the West Coast a lot of Indian communities living? Has any Indian family reached out to the consulate or the embassy in United States? And number two,
Everybody is asking two questions. I would really urge that please keep your questions to one, so that we can give chance to everybody, and I am also in a position to answer all the questions because I have to take down in detail. So my request, please ask one question each.
okay, should I get second question?
अगली दफा कर लेना.
Okay.
ठीक. हाँ, अजय.
Jaiswal sir, Ajay Banerjee from the Tribune this side. Sir, when the Prime Minister goes to Canada, will there be, I'm just citing what you have said in these briefings in the past, that we have asked Canada to take action against illegal immigrants, gangsters, you named some of those, we named some of those, living in Canada. Will that matter of gangsters living in Canada be raised again with Canada?
Gautam.
Sir Gautam Bahri, disturbing reports are coming out from Bangladesh that Rabindranath Tagore's, one of the ancestral house, which was actually converted to a museum, has been ransacked on a very silly excuse. So whether government of India has taken note of it, because Rabindranath Tagore is written the two national anthems for both the countries. So it's really a shameful. And if you allow me just to add, I know that, I will add later.
Okay, we have 5 questions, or I would say 7, 8 questions, so please. Keshav, first, the situation in West Asia. Obviously, we are following the developments very closely. And yes, we have a large diaspora population in that region. Our embassies all across the region, they are in touch with our community members and also guiding them on their safety and security. If we have any more updates to share with you, we will surely do. On your question on the talks between, telephone conversation between leaders of Canada and India. See, we have put out a detailed press release, as also we have through other mediums informed you as to what was discussed. And essentially, again, while I was answering the question earlier on Canada, I said both leaders have discussed and reflected upon the bilateral ties. How do we take it forward as the next step, or reset it? So obviously, when we get another chance to talk about our relations, these things would be very important as to what is the path forward for India-Canada ties. Having said that, I also spoke that we are two democracies. We are bound by rule of law. We have an expansive economic engagement. We have large people-to-people connections. We have a big student community there. We have companies invested on both sides. We have technology collaboration. So there's a lot more. There are lots that can be discussed, and for both countries to gain from each other's engagement. Mega on anti-India activities, whether it is Canada or anywhere else, we have made our point very clear, and our security concerns are important for us, and we expect our international partners to take into account our concerns and act accordingly. On the bilateral meetings and what sort of engagements that are going to be there, surely we'll be in touch with you, and we'll keep you updated as things progress. On the invitation part, I think I would urge you to be better informed as to who are the people who are invited. There are foreign leaders who have been invited or not. So please, I would urge you to look at what has been, take your question to the American side. They will be in a better position to answer it. Uma, on ICE action, I don't have any update on, the kind of, any update to share with you as far as Indian nationals are concerned. But having said that, we have made our position very clear, of which you are aware that, as and when if there is a person who's illegally staying, not just in the United States, but anywhere in the world, if he or she, his nationality is verified, and we are certain that he or she is an Indian, then we obviously take them back. India, as a matter of policy, we want to strengthen legal migration, and we are against illegal migration. Again, on the students from the UK, I don't have an update for you. But, deportation matters, movement of people, if there are somebody illegal staying somewhere, again, the same procedure we follow, and it is something that continues with, not just with UK, but anywhere else. Likewise, in India also, we have people who are illegally staying here. We connect with their embassies, their countries, and follow due procedure for their deportation. Kunal, on the situation in Los Angeles, we are aware of the developments, and as you are aware, that we take the safety, security, and welfare of our citizens abroad with utmost seriousness. The LA region and California in general, it is home to a large community of Indians. We advise all Indian nationals in the region to take suitable safety precautions. Our consulate in San Francisco is closely monitoring the situation and is also remains in close touch with our community members for their welfare. Ajay, on Canada, as to what has been the conversation so far, we have given an account earlier, and also while I was answering question on India-Canada relations, I did mention that this reset of the relationship is based on mutual respect, shared interest, and sensitivity to each other's concerns. Our views on some of these issues have already been shared publicly in considerable detail. As to what sort of conversation we have when we are there in Canada, we'll keep you updated on this matter. Now, on the question of vandalization in Bangladesh, we strongly condemned the despicable attack, and vandalization of the ancestral home of Gurudev Rabindranath Tagore by a mob on 8th June 2025. The home, historically called Rabindra Kachari Bari, is located, as you would know, in Sirajganj district of Bangladesh. The violent act is a disgrace to the memory and the inclusive philosophy and teachings that the Nobel laureate espoused in Bangladesh. The attack falls in the broad pattern of systematic attempts by extremists to erase the symbols of tolerance and eviscerate the syncretic culture and the cultural legacy of Bangladesh. We urge the interim government to rein in the terrorists and take strict action against the perpetrators to prevent reoccurrence of such incidents that sadly have become a repetitive feature. Can we have more questions? Sudhi?
Sir, Sudhiranjan from Bloomberg, sir. Going back to the plane crash that happened today, is there any understanding that you can give us as to whether India has ruled out foul play in the crash? And if you allow me a second question, sir, any details you could give us on the visiting Chinese dignitary and the talks that he's having?
Siddharth?
Hi, sir. I'm Siddhant from CNN News 18. Sir, I have one specific question that when we will meet Canadians, then are we going to raise the issue of transnational gangs operating in Canada? And going by the information, then India had also given a dossier to the Canadians, the list of gangsters operating from Canadian soil. And my second question is, sir, also the kind of threats that the South Asian community is getting, extortion threats from such gangs. Thank you.
Agni.
So this is Agni from AVP. It's been reported that son of former Prime Minister of Bangladesh came to Delhi and they celebrated Eid together here. Can you throw some light on this, sir?
Divya.
So Divya from the Indian Express. On Canada again, you mentioned, a reset of ties. So is there a thought about restoration of high commissioners on both sides? And if yes, then has there been any conversation on that? Thank you.
Okay. So Shruti, first you're on the plane crash. I'm sure you're following the developments. It has happened a few hours ago. We have several agencies of Government of India who are working on the disaster, the tragic accident, and we'll have to wait for more details on this particular incident. Details of the visiting Chinese dignitary, we have a regular conversation with our Chinese counterpart. We have a visitor in town, and hopefully we'll give you a readout as to what sort of discussion we've had with him. Siddhant, see, when we have discussion with any country, issues that are of mutual concern are discussed, and as far as our conversations with Canada is concerned, we will keep you updated with all that is discussed among the interlocutors and the leaders. Agni, on your question specifically, I don't have any information to share with you or confirm. Divya, on reset of ties, yes, this, as I told you, we are exploring pathways to reset the ties, and we'll see as to how we take things forward. So I'll stop there for you. With that, ladies and gentlemen, we come to the close of this session. Thank you very much.